Hey guys, I've been putting this video off for a while just because I don't feel like I've been all there mentally. Today I was just like, you know what, just screw it all. I'm just gonna do it, like, and see what happens. But anyways, so I am continuing with my self-concept series that I've been wanting to make forever, and this episode is talking about, hold on, let me turn off my fan. So this episode, I wanted to talk about intrinsic and unconditional self-value. It's probably one of the most important aspects of self-concept, just because, like, honestly, whenever you're manifesting and, like, you come to a point where you're not really seeing the results you want, and there's a part of you that wants to be, like, upset about it, and you're just like, I don't have the thing that I want. I think it's important to, like, create a sense of security in yourself, like, regardless of whether you have these, like, physical manifestations or not. And that's why I think intrinsic self-value is a very important aspect of your self-concept. So anyways, this is something that took me a while to learn, honestly. So life is life. Regardless of whether you're manifesting a nice body, a nice face, nice hair, you're gonna have days where you don't feel very adequate, you don't feel very good about yourself, and you're gonna be like in a weird headspace. That's pretty much been me this whole week, honestly. And that's why honestly, I think manifesting is important, but I also think people have to balance the mental health aspect of manifestation and not be like way too anal about like what you're constantly thinking about, which you should be very disciplined about what you're thinking about. But it's also very important. That's why I made a video about grace before. It's like, it's very important to show yourself that grace and just be like, look, you're a person. You can only do so much at one time. So just like take a step back. I keep scratching my nose. Ow. And honestly, this really isn't just about manifestation, but this is honestly like the one thing that like I really needed for a long time. I also do want to point out this one little concept, okay? It's called, hold on, let me get my book. Oh wait, I left my book in my car, did I? No wait, I brought home. Hold on, let me check. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with like wanting to manifest like looking pretty or looking handsome or looking sexy. I don't think there's anything like really wrong with like physical stuff. But I feel like if we don't cultivate a space in ourselves where we just know that we are valuable, like it's never gonna feel like it's enough, like ever, you know? So I just really want to emphasize that that's like a really important thing. I hesitated making this video because this week I have not been doing very well, like mentally. I feel like I've been feeling like I've been in a very insecure space recently, and it really bothered me. And I was just like, maybe I shouldn't make this video, but like today I was like, who cares? So yeah, I think it's by far like one of the most important things when it comes to manifesting and self-concept, just to recognize like that you already are a valuable person regardless of whether you have any of those things or not. I know like sometimes it's not always easy to see that in yourself, especially like maybe if you have like you feel like you have a bad reputation, or you feel like you did something to someone, or you feel like you haven't been a good person. It's hard to see those things in yourself, but like honestly, like if you don't see those things in yourself, no one else really will. I know we like to wait till someone else finds value in us and then we can learn to value ourselves, but that's not going to be the case. You have to like kind of understand that like no one's really gonna come to save you. You really just have to be like, okay, like I don't have to live my life like this, thinking garbage about myself, because that doesn't really serve a purpose, and that's just a huge waste of time, you know? And again, I do want to emphasize that manifesting physical things is actually it's a pretty good thing, because when you manifest something and you're successful at it, that creates faith. It helps you restore your faith in your own self, and you're just like, oh shit, I can make this happen. That's a good thing. Like I don't understand why like people would say like that's like vanity almost. I just don't really agree or resonate with that anymore. It's just like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, I think this was probably like the hardest thing like for me that I had to learn, to just find a space where you can value yourself regardless of tangible things. That means learning to value yourself regardless of your status, what kind of career you have, how you look, what kind of relationships you have, how many relationships you have, it doesn't matter, but You have to create a space where you can value yourself regardless of whether you have those things or not. That's called intrinsic self-value. Basically, your value is not in any of these physical things. Your value is in your spirit, right? And I'm not one of those people where, like, you know, I think that earthly or physical things are bad or evil. I want to stress that. Or, like, I think money is evil. Like, well, no, money, it's not evil. It helps you make your life easier, but you should never put money above yourself and your own happiness. And that's why I think when it comes to manifesting, it's important to create a space of self-intrinsic value before really anything else. Because I'm gonna be honest, the fact, like, when you realize that you have the ability to make shit appear out of thin fucking air, like, when you realize that you are legitimately capable of doing that, that's a pretty, like, crazy feeling. And the point isn't to, like, get way up there and think you're some kind of god, necessarily, but the whole point, again, like I said, the whole point is to restore your own faith in yourself, rather than thinking that everything's gonna happen because of something or someone that's outside of you. I feel like that's a mentality that we need to kind of, like, put aside. I also want to talk about something called reverence. Reverence is defined as being a very strong sense of devotion, respect, and awe towards something. It's less of, like, an intellectual thing, and it's more something that you feel. But that's basically my goal, like, above having any, like, tangible things, is just I want to live my life in a state of reverence as much as I can. Some people also call this ego death, which personally I believe that reverence and ego death are actually the same thing. They're just two different words. But for me, when I'm in a state of reverence, I feel like such a deep sense of, like, awe and love. And that's really my goal. And I feel like I can't be in a state of reverence if I'm, you know, not finding value in my spirit. So I was reading a book that about psychology, and it was saying that, so an inner locus of control is basically this mentality that you believe that you are capable of making things happen through your own will and your own ability. An outer locus of control is the opposite of that. It's someone who basically thinks that everything is happening to them and there's nothing they can do about it, and they have no control of anything that's happening outside of them. But this book was saying that a lot of people with depression are linked to having this mentality of an outer locus of control, meaning that a lot of people, like, will get depression from thinking that they can't control anything that's outside of them. So I think it's very important to shift our focus off of, like, you know, I want this person to make me feel important. I want this person to notice me. I want this to happen to me. Oh, this is happening and I hate it. This person is doing this to me. I feel like it's important to, like, gradually make a shift out of that and put your mental focus into having an inner locus of control. And that's why I think manifesting isn't, like, evil or vain or anything like that. I just don't see how that makes sense. I really don't. But personally, I really want to get to a point where I'm experiencing awe and reverence as much as I possibly can. Not everybody values that, though. That's not everybody's goal, and that's cool. Like, that's just mine. That's just what I want. And again, like, above all else, it's important to restore your own faith in yourself and your own idea of self-value, and recognize that you are a valuable person without all of these things. And yeah, anyways, that's all I really have for today. I hope that this was very informative and really cool to listen to. Anyways, I hope you have a good one, and see you next time.